Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Below the Line. My name is Andres Ramirez, and I'm back in Mexico to record yet another episode of Below the Line with my good friend and co host, Mr. Zach Houston Scott. How are you, man?
Hey, doing pretty good. Welcome back to Mexico. It'd be pretty funny if you were in Vancouver, but that'll be in due time. Did you
In
have a
due time.
good?
Yeah, I did have, but I'm actually really excited. It's as that famous meme from Lord of the Rings. So it begins. The July season is almost upon us.
Yes, we're getting ready for Jurassic, Fantastic, Superman 4. I guess throw in I Know What You Did Last Summer because that's also in that month.
Happy Gilmore, part two,
Yes, Happy Gilmore 2. Very excited about that.
which is actually competing with Fantastic Four. Comes out the same weekend.
Oh yeah, but one's for streaming. I mean, literally, you can just watch it the day of, and then go to the theaters to watch Fantastic Four. So it works out pretty well for
Still,
yourself.
it's still asking for the same, well, not the same audience, but for the audience attention. So, kind of curious to see where. Imagine if somehow that movie is more profitable than Fantastic Four.
I mean, they'll probably get it back with their Subway promotion they're doing up here. You're getting a Happy Gilmore collectible cups and the Happy Gilmore footlongs. So definitely, I'm excited to try that in the next week or two.
There's a Happy Gilmore footlong.
Yeah, it's a Happy
Oh my
Gilmore
god,
Subway deal that's coming soon, so I'm very excited to try it.
that's so funny. I bet Adam Sandler came up with that. Like it just screams to like Adam Sandler. I don't know. It just seems funny. Like why of all things, why are you advertising for Subway? If you
Well,
know what I
because Subway
mean.
was such a big part in that original movie, so I mean,
Is the first one streaming on Netflix?
oh god, I gotta look that up. If not, then it might be another streaming service, like a
Was
Crave.
it a
It up
Sony
here.
picture?
No, it was Universal actually who did the original.
Damn. So in the US, it's probably Peacock.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
That's such a messy thing. Like, if you want to watch them both, you have to either buy one, then subscribe to Netflix, and Netflix is really aggressive with password sharing. So, and then both should be in the same place. Damn, these streaming things, when you try to watch something like in a marathon, you have to be subscribed to all of them. It's worse than cable to a certain point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And it's funny too because there'll be some movies that are on multiple streaming services. Like, sometimes a DreamWorks movie, let's say Shrek, you can see it on Netflix, but it's also on Amazon Prime. It's also
It's
on
so weird.
Peacock. It is weird, but it's all just
It's like,
deals.
yeah, some of them were before the studios even owned their own streaming shows or streaming services. It's crazy that Netflix produces a Jurassic World animated show, yet Peacock has nothing Jurassic in their own streaming service. I don't know. These deals make no sense, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
Talking about movies and stuff, have you been seeing anything cool lately?
This week's been a little light for me, admittedly, just because of work and just with everything happening with that. Other than the movie, one of the movies we're talking about today, not the one you think, unfortunately, just because I only had time to see one. But I'm trying to think if I did see anything really special this week. Um, no, honestly, it's been kind of a quiet week for myself. Not really catching up with
Hmm.
any movies, just waiting to
Or
see
TV
like
shows?
yeah, or TV shows. No. Next week I'll definitely have a little bit more.
Did you watch Ironheart?
Oh yeah, and I had people talk about that with me. Just I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna pass it. I got a quick synopsis and a fill in for some of the characters, and I just shook my head and just saw how desperate this was trying to connect to that original series. And yeah,
Well, do you think Marvel should have shelved it? Considering, like, it's been a very rough year for the studio. Their biggest movie, probably the one that sets up their biggest two movies, is coming out in a matter of weeks. And the image of the studio is already weakened. Do you think they should have shelved this or at least waited until after Fantastic Four?
Honestly, no, it really wouldn't matter at that point. I know they're slowing down like once the Fantastic Four comes out because I don't think we're getting any movie until Spider-Man next year unless that gets pushed again because even that doesn't count when you think about it because that's like Disney or Sony.
Was
And then
Sony, Disney?
Disney one that's coming out is in December 18th for Avengers Doomsday. And I mean, that month is already packed. I mean, you've got Ice Age 6, you've got, oh, geez, what
Stuff
else?
will get pushed.
Yeah,
Stuff will get pushed.
but
Something will get pushed. Yeah.
absolutely. But to me, no, I have not seen Ironheart. I don't intend to. From what I've seen online, it's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. It actually kind of annoys me, and I personally don't think fans of her from the comic are really going to like it. You're really taking the worst thing of Black Panther Wakanda Forever and making that a whole show, and just the questionable logic behind it, I don't really think. And
It was greenlit in a different time, if you know what I mean.
yeah, no, I do. And
Culturally speaking.
it's really the
But
remnants of an era that I'm hopeful is now going away, if I'm being honest, just because we were getting too much and just for what it's worth, the pandering was getting a little bit too much in that scenario.
yeah, I mean, two people that are watching it, I enjoy it. I was gonna say I've been catching up in Stranger Things. I don't think
Well,
I told you, but in New York, while I was out there during Tribeca, I went and saw the Stranger Things play, the one that premiered at the West End in London, and now it's playing in New York. And it's an interesting experience. I would say it's the best live theater I've seen in terms of special effects. Like,
interesting.
I don't know how they did half of the stuff. It's like very well done. It's a prequel, so it is the story of Henry slash Vecna. But I think the story creates a lot of problems for the main saga unless they kind of tie it all together in the next season. Because all the parents of the kids are in the play. Like Joyce, Winona Ryder's character, is in the play, and she has a different name. She has her maiden name because she's Joyce Byers. Even though she's divorced, she goes by Joyce Maldonado in the play. And I'm
Mm,
like, so did they just forgot that there was like a Stranger Thing happening like 30 years ago, and like did they all got amnesia all of the sudden? Like, I don't know, watching that and season one back to back, it's like, Joyce should have known that weird stuff has happened in that Hawkins lab. But I don't know, curious to see if they tie it up in the next season, although they
or
reveal something that could be important for the next season that it's coming out.
yeah.
uh, and the thing they reveal, which I don't think it's a spoiler, it might be for the play but not for the series, is that the Mind Flyer was there before Begna. So the play implies that the Mind Flyer controls Begna, so they might make him an anti-hero, like a Darth Vader sort of character. And there's a new character they created for the play that might show up in the next season and could play a crucial key if they actually connected. Maybe this play is just a crash grab, so I don't know. But I've been catching up on Stranger Things. Season
Well,
one, really good paced.
I mean, it was meant to be originally just a one season show, and I
I
mean, we'll
know.
see when you revisit the other seasons. But just to add on to your play, I maybe it'll go the route of the Cursed Child, where yeah, it's acknowledged, but I wouldn't think too much into it in terms of where it will go for the whole series as a whole compared to the seasons previous, if that makes sense.
Ironically, it was written by the same guy that wrote The Cursed Child.
Oh
Like,
yeah, so there you go.
it was like greenlit by the Duffer brothers and all the Netflix people. but one of the writers is the same writer that wrote The Cursed Child. So I think it's kind of funny. And it also premiered on the West End. So there's a lot of parallels. But talking about The Cursed Child, Tom Felton is playing Malfoy again.
I saw that. That's really cool. I mean, he originated the role and might be able to put pathos. It really does make me just want another. I know it's a very diverse sequel, and I mean, technically, it's not part of the series, but if they were to just get that original cast and do like a
They could
Cursed
do
Child
it.
movie, I really would love that. That's a legacy sequel I would jump on board for. No, like, take my money, please.
They could do it as they do the HBO thing.
Yeah, but they choose not
Well,
to, and that is fair. That is valid.
they can still do it. It's a multiverse of Harry Potter.
I
Why not?
might.
It's like the keychain that Hermione uses in the third book and film. She can open the multiverse too. That's the excuse. You can have two Harrys in the same screen. Everybody's doing multiverses. J.K. Rowling has to figure that one out.
Yeah, apparently. I guess before we dig into the movies for this week, the biggest movie news is actually coming from Amazon, who announced the next director for Bond 26.
Oh, the knee,
Yeah,
Villeneuve, the
Denis
Canadian.
Villeneuve. Yes, that makes me very happy. No, I'm very excited. He's definitely going to make Bond epic again, if that makes sense.
I think it depends on who he casts for Bond.
That's
I
fair.
think half of it is a casting and like making Bond. You know, I wouldn't say take a page out of Mission Impossible, but take a page of Mission Impossible. Make it a little bit modern. Did you watch the Switch game? The trailer for the Switch game?
Yes, and I'm
That
okay if they go that route. Honestly, like that's kind of what I
that
wanted.
vibe seems cool.
Yeah, like a young James Bond, like not the one from Casino Royale, but like an actual like younger one to really
As long
introduce.
as it's not Tom Holland
Yeah, I heard he
playing.
was one of the front runners, and I'm like, why? Like that's just so predictable. But I mean,
He's the only young British actor in
yeah,
in his pool of talent. I don't know who
apparently,
else is a young British actor that is in that age.
I mean, around like that age, I have to like, Google that
Yeah,
actually.
like is Tom Holland the only choice, and that's why he gets all the roles?
I
Because
mean,
Timothy Chalamet is American.
yeah,
Robert Pattinson is too old, and he's playing Batman already.
Asa Butterfield, I mean, he's pretty good from what I've seen him.
He's
The
too
boy in the suit.
niche. He's too niche.
Mm,
Like he does indie stuff now.
yeah, I don't know.
That's a tough casting.
Yeah,
But
I
but I
don't
think
pity them.
I think they should cast someone young and somebody that can build the franchise. But I don't know if Tom Holland is the right choice because he's already Spider Man.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, you know who's producing the next one though, right? For James
no.
Bond, Amy Pascal.
Oh boy, Tom
Yes.
Holland confirmed. I mean, for people that don't know who are listening to us, Amy Pascal has produced all the Spider Man movies with Tom Holland
Yeah. So I mean, just letting you guys know that she's also produced the. She was the head of Sony for a little bit, and she
until the
was during
famous
that
leak.
era of Andrew Garfield movies.
Andrew Garfield could be a good James Bond.
Yeah, but I think they wanted to go with a younger one. And it's funny because we brought up Harry Potter. David Heyman is also co producing the next James Bond film with Amy Pascal. So we
Daniel
get,
Radcliffe.
yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. There you go.
Daniel Radcliffe or Rupert Grint
I think he's preferred to be a dad now, Rupert Grint. I think the
or
fan
Tom
cast.
Felton.
Tom Felton, yeah. I think the fan choice and what honestly I want is Henry Cavill, personally.
Uh, but see, I think people don't like working with him because he's too hardcore in how he, you know, goes into the character. I suppose.
But we need that though. And I mean, you're never going to find a better Bond right now than him. Like, in this time period. I mean, there surely be another guy similar, but just in my opinion, you're gonna not find. Argyle was a great taste in terms of what we could get from James Bond.
He also can do the physical stuff because he did that with Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Like he already worked practically in a spy film. He'd be right at home. So, but we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean,
He
these
also
movies. Mhm.
he also did another spy movie, right?
The Man
With
from
Matthew
Uncle.
Vaughn. Yeah.
And that was that
Um,
Matthew Vaughn or was that Guy Ritchie? I'm pretty sure that was Guy Ritchie.
it
Matthew
was
Vaughn did
one of the
Argyle. He did Argyle.
Apple.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Apple, that's a great segue into the film we're talking about today. Apple's big budget action film F1, starring Brad Pitt.
You did not see it, right?
Sadly, no. I had other priorities to take care of. I really want to see this movie, especially in IMAX, because it's Joseph Kowiski. How do you pronounce his last name?
Same director as Top Gun,
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick.
Maverick.
And I guess he's Tom Cruise's new muse to do his legacy sequels going forward because he's tapped in to do Days of Thunder 2 and Top Gun 3. So, guy is apparently really good with Tom Cruise and that kind of aging action stars from the 80s and 90s.
And Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes,
Don't
Jerry
forget,
Bruckheimer.
Bruckheimer is key in the success of these two films. I believe so.
I agree. The guy's
Very
just
underrated producer.
yeah, no, like if you guys don't know, this is the guy who was like involved with Disney heavily in the mid 2000s. He did like National Treasure, Pirates of the Caribbean. He produced a lot
Fire.
of Will Smith's movies back in the 90s. Helped Michael Bay get to where he is today. Like this guy is pretty big, and CSI is the show he's practically known for. So
So, since you didn't see it, ask me questions so I can talk about it and tell the audience before we talk about the one you actually did see.
yes, my question with that is it worth seeing on IMAX? Because that is a movie I do want to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think so. I think this is what cinema should be. Not the cinema that Scorsese preaches. Well, I think that cinema is important. This is a film. The best way I could describe it is a 90s script with modern filmmaking sensitive technology.
Oh,
Like
seriously?
the script is a classic hero's journey. Like you would know if you read a script from the 90s, it's like, okay, this has to happen. At the 15-minute mark, he gets a call to action. At
Yeah.
the X time, the friends and allies montage happens, where everything is going character's way. It's a very classic structure film. No messaging. It's just there to entertain. But I think if they would have made this film in the 90s, they could not have gotten away with where they put the camera, if that makes sense. I
No, it
think Joseph Kaczynski, the director, learned a lot from Top Gun, and he used all those skills, gathered new technology to put the camera God knows where. Like there's some shots where I was like, how did they fit a camera there? Like it's crazy to think how did they got that shot, and it makes me wonder how much is Brad Pitt driving versus how much there's a stunt driver, but like the quality of the film, you feel the scope. And I think between the sound mixing, which is the best sound mixing I've heard this year alone, the tension of how it's shot, edited, it sucks you in. Like even though it's a 245-minute film, I was never bored, and in part of that was because of the IMAX screen, and I think I saw it in a baby IMAX, so not even the real IMAX, if that makes sense.
no, it does. That's awesome. And then, I mean, okay, that's great, honestly. It's a 90s movie just made with today's filmmaking capabilities and technology. In terms of what you didn't like, was there anything that you're like, okay, I don't need to see this, or this was a bit of drag? Because it is a long movie with it being 2.5 hours.
To be honest, no, because first of all, I mean, the film is expensive. It costs $200 million, right?
Mhm.
But I think there's a variety in terms of the locations because they are following the F1 circuit. So they shoot in Dubai, they shoot in London, they shoot in Italy, they shoot in Mexico. There's a lot of variety in the location. So you feel that the film is always constantly moving. Brad Pitt's charisma really helps to not only sell his character, but to suck you in into his journey. And all the secondary actors have a really good character arcs, and they play well off each other. In my opinion, this film is the best film I've seen this year.
Really?
Uh,
Wow. That's
it's like
really
I said, it's not a major. It's not gonna win best screenplay, but I think in terms of what is the purpose of going to an IMAX screen, right? I think you should be entertained. You should be immersed in a world. And look, I don't know how it feels to be going 320 kilometers per hour, but the film made me feel like I was going 320 kilometers. There's one sequence where he first gets into the Ferrari car, so well shot. You see, like, I think they have D ABCD cameras, so four cameras at the time rolling, plus drones and stuff like that. Like, he had so much coverage that it gets you sucked into the action. Like, it's hard for me to describe, but it's so well made. And I think in terms of what makes people go to the movies, I think this is the one. I mean, if you see Cinema Score, all the rating sites, they are all giving a high price. And I think just like Top Gun Maverick, it's gonna have very good legs.
good. I'm glad. Mostly because I think Apple needs a bit of a win since they started doing their movies in theaters and just in general, because really a lot of them don't do well. Not to say it doesn't matter for Apple because they're like $1 trillion company, but I mean, it's basically a good example. It sounds like that this is going to work for them if they keep producing stuff for Apple TV, and if it's of this high caliber. That makes me really happy to hear. I honestly don't want to hear more about it because I want to check it out myself, since just from the trailers it looked really cool, the racing. And I don't know if there's any big F1 fans out there, but just to see it, like, feel being in the cockpit and everything, and just the locale and what it's like to experience is really, really cool for me.
I also think what they did is, like, if you follow the 2023 season of F1, there are some real life events, like some crashes that I do remember that do happen in the film. So there's a sense of realism to the film. Like, Brad Pitt's character is driving next to Max Verstappen, who, if you follow F1, he's the best racer right now. And, like, Max Verstappen has like one line of dialogue, and I thought that was very intriguing, into again sucking you into this world in the film where these are real things happening. So I think the quality of the director, who has made a name of himself, I mean, not just with Top Gun but with Tron as well, and Jerry Bruckheimer, like, it has a 90s feel. That's what I meant. Like, it has an old feeling of Jerry Bruckheimer film. Like, it's just entertaining. It probably is not the most realistic one when how it depicts F1, but it's a fun movie. And I think fun movies in today's scope of movie theaters are a rare win. And I encourage everybody to go and watch this one.
Awesome. No, that's great. Thank you, man. Now it's my turn. I
Yeah.
get to talk about the other movie that came out this week, Megan 2.0, the sequel to Megan. Yeah, Blumhouse comes out with this sequel that does not go the way you thought. Well, okay, the trailers kind of gave the genre that they were going for this time, less horror and definitely more Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And yeah, they take it basically to the fucking limits, if I'm being honest. And also, like, in like the 80s and 90s, where this character that was initially scary in their first movie would just have numerous sequels to get to be like campy and ridiculous.
You mean like Chucky?
Yeah, well, yeah, Chucky, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, to a lesser extent, Pinhead. Yeah, they do this in two movies. Like we're already at like Nightmare on Elm Street 5 level of ridiculousness with Megan 2.0, if that makes any sense.
Kind of. So I'll ask the question six time. Did you like it?
Kind of. It's hard for me to say because I did like the original movie. I thought it was very fun. It was winking to the audience enough. It was still creepy though that I thought, wow, Blumhouse is kind of their own mascot for the next little while. They can keep making stuff. This one, they turn the tables a bit and kind of just redo Terminator 2 Judgment Day, if that makes sense, where she's not the
Yeah.
bad guy anymore. She's like the protector and just being sassy and like still the trailer reveals she does kill people. Don't take that for face value. I'll just say that much. As
In
they're going
PG
up to face.
13.
Yeah, it's a PG-13 way. I hope this original gets an unrated cut on Peacock or even streaming because these movies deserve to show a little bit more. I know why they're doing it because they want to appeal to younger demographics, but I think releasing it in the summer really hurt this movie a bit too
Yeah.
because it's just way too much competition and its budget really is shows. I think it was produced like 15, 25 million, and it just can't compete with like everything else that's coming this summer and offering a little bit more of what audiences are kind of looking for. I mean, it has been almost 3 years since the last Megan movie came out, so I don't think
Oh
anyone was
my
really
god.
clamoring for a sequel. Yeah,
To be fair, I completely agree with you. This would have been a perfect March April film. Like if you counter program Snow White with this, I think this would have killed Snow White.
absolutely.
But
Or even going back to February, just like competing it with Captain America or putting it with Wolfman instead, like that would have been just far better.
I think the movie it was supposed to be a movie for a quiet month. I don't think it's going to flop per se, but it's a movie that should have come out earlier in the year when
It's
it
a
was
mo-
quieter.
it's a movie Universal will definitely after a week or two in theaters put it quietly on Peacock and streaming. I do not
Not
see it
even
getting further.
BOD.
Or yeah, PVOD. Yeah, I really don't imagine it really taking a whole lot more time. Like the acting was still good. I will say that. I like the actress who played Amelia. I thought was really clever. I guess they're doing
Oh
it. Yeah, she was fun. I actually thought that was Elizabeth Olsen a lot of the time, just the way she looked and just I don't know from far distance. Did you ever get that feeling?
no, I thought she was Russian. Maybe I don't know.
I
She
thought
looked
she was just
Russian to
doing.
me.
I just thought she was pulling an accent though. That was my thing.
Let's see, where is she from? No, she is Ukrainian. She's from Kiev. Oh, she was in Star Wars. That's why I know her.
Yeah,
In
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Oh, she's the Padawan of the other bad guy that
That
now
Ray
I guess doesn't
Stevenson
really.
played. I know
Yeah,
the one you're talking about. That was.
yeah,
Uh, I'm looking this up by the way. Balin Skull. Yeah,
yeah.
I have
Balin
to
Skull.
remember that. There's so much Star Wars out right now. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, and that character was forgettable, but yeah, she's the one that stabs one of the characters, and they magically survive. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the power of lightsabers nowadays. It's just like a little wound.
yeah, I mean, I thought the film is like I don't think it's bad, and I think it was saying something actually. Like I think the message about AI was actually good. Did you agree? Like in the sense of making it the laws changing with AI, which I think ironically in the US they're not being challenged, or I guess that's still not a thing. So maybe
No,
this film can bring awareness to AI laws and how to censor it, or not censor it, but how to add a morality aspect to AI because the AI is not moral. I thought that subtext plot was interesting, and I wish they would have done more with it.
I mean, yeah, but to me, it's kind of like the creator. It definitely
Mm,
is a bit timely, and I think people just don't want to like talk about it or the ethics behind it just because it has grown so much exponentially. Like I can see people years from now looking back and being like, "Oh yeah, this was ahead of its time." Just like that movie, but I right now it just feels like it coming out right now that is probably the main
Yeah.
reason why it turned off so many people from going to it because it was essentially praising the use of it. But I mean, it
Well,
was yeah.
yes and no, because they had the subtext where the mom or the aunt wants to legitimate or to make laws against AI and censor it and make morality into their code. I just think that was kind of mentioned, and I don't know. They chose to focus more on the action, and I also think the film is maybe 15 minutes longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, no, it was definitely too long. Maybe I went to see the wrong movie. I should have went to go and see F1 with you.
Well,
If
see,
you were
here's
in.
the thing. I think the film's biggest sin is not even the length or the script, because I think the film is enjoyable. Like, it's not the worst film of the year. I think it's a 6.57, right? Not as good as the original, but, fun. I think they really needed another viral dance from, like, the original or something like that. That
Yeah.
said, who chose to release this next to F1? Like, that's the biggest thing with this movie. It's a goodish movie that got released in a weekend where it's getting crushed at the box office.
Yeah, and I mean even like with oh god, Elio and How to Train Your Dragon to a lesser
Yeah.
extent also doing on the second and third weekend it's not doing hot. But, it is what it is.
I watched Elio.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
To be fair, it was pretty boring.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't terrible. I liked it enough. It was just a matter of I guess honestly.
It's fun, but it's so predictable, and I sort of feel it lacks the Pixar charm. Like, if
I get that.
Disney would have made it sort of feels similar to a Disney film they released like Thanksgiving ago. The one with is it Ryan Gosling? No, Jake Gyllenhaal. He voices the dad, and I think one of the kids is queer or something like that.
Oh,
It
you mean
sort of,
Strange World? Yeah, that
yeah, it sort of felt very similar.
you know what's funny? Every time I bring that movie up, I always say like, "Yeah, you remember the day the Earth or the day after tomorrow, that Roland Emmerich movie from
Yeah,
2004." You ever kind of wanted to
Will
see a
Smith.
sequel? Yeah, that one. You ever
Yeah,
wanted to see kind of a sequel to it with the original cast reprising some of their roles, Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal?
I guess that's the one.
Yeah, that's the movie. Otherwise, it sucks. Yeah, no, I forgot Strange World was a thing. And yeah, it's just there for the sake of being there, honestly. I don't sympathize, honestly. Like, I want people to support original movies, but at the same time, if they're not good or well marketed, then so what?
I don't even know if it was a marketing issue. I think I agree because I think what's the name of the head at Pixar? He directed Inside Out. Uh, but
Pete
he
Doctor?
Pete Docker. He just recently said that in order for them to make new movies, they have to take risks, and I don't think it's the fact that they're taking the risk. Is I don't know if the right people are in charge of these projects. Like, the style of animation of Elio is colorful, but it's not innovative, if you know what I mean.
No, I get that. It's more like the style that you'd see on Steven Universe or Gravity Falls, like those mid 2010 cartoons that, yeah, were popular for a bit, but I think we're kind of slowly going away now. And Pixar's refusal to not take on more like the Spider Verse Sony style that's been working for them. So,
And I also think like the first act is interesting, but then when he goes into the spaceship, it all kind of becomes muffled into one mess of a movie, if that makes sense.
no, it does. It does.
Like, the first act has like a little bit of ET Super 8 ish, but then when he gets abducted, it just becomes like Inside Out, but in space, if you know what I mean.
I get that. Yeah, I do. I do. Um,
Should I tell them about the movie I got to see early on the special AMC screening in the US?
yes, feel free to share with them. It's a pretty big movie coming out soon.
But ask me questions again. I don't want to spoil too much. But
Okay.
hey, folks, welcome to an exclusive review of early review, I might say, before 4th of July of Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards, shot in like 2 months because they literally shot it so fast. I mean, this was greenlit like a year ago and it's out already. So
It's
I'll let
crazy.
Zach take the ranges on what he wants to know and I'll inform him and you guys.
Well, when I end up seeing it next week, I'll tell you my thoughts. But first off, is this better than the previous Jurassic World movies? I'm not talking the park movies, I'm talking like the ones that came out like from a decade ago.
Okay, yes and no. Because this is not world, it's park, actually. Like, it's more park than world, and I think the closest film, like, to resemble it, it's Park 3.
Really?
It,
Part three.
it's like Park 3. It's like they go to another island that is not those two islands where iGen did more tests.
How many
And
islands did this corporation do at this point?
I guess they own the whole Caribbean by this point. They're the pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, it's kind of similar to JP3 in its structure, I would say, and even the plot, but it's as if they gave it more chance to breathe and the script had more development, if that makes sense. So it's more park. And you can tell that Gareth Edwards really loves Spielberg. Like he tries to homage him so much, which I think it's good and bad.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say on its own terms, is it a good movie? Like this is the best since the original? That's my next question.
No, I
No.
still enjoy part two better.
You enjoy really? You enjoy the Lost World Jurassic World.
See, in hindsight, I don't think it's such a terrible film.
Ooh,
Like,
okay.
if you go back and see it, I think out of all the sequels, except the first Jurassic World, it's one of the best.
I think we'll need to talk about that next week. We might just dedicate the whole episode to talking about Jurassic Park because I might have to
Slash
disagree with
World.
you. Or yeah?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Um,
Okay, good to know. My next question is how are the new characters? How do they play off? Or at the very least, the ones that we've been shown in the trailers and got top billing?
you mean Scarlett Johansson as
Marshall
Scarlett
Ali and
Johansson?
Jonathan Bailey. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is Scarlett Johansson.
I don't remember her name, so that's why I said Scarlett Johansson as Scarlett Johansson. I think she's an action star, but she's not playing Black Widow, so she's playing a different type of action. Mahershala Ali, I think, is given the room expand on his character from Jurassic World because he was in Jurassic World, the first one. He helped Owen Grady,
Oh
who
yeah,
is
that's
Chris Pratt
right. I
in the
forgot
first
about
one.
that. He was still okay, so he's just a bigger character then in this one. Interesting.
Yeah, although I don't think people notice that because they don't reference that. I just know it because I was a huge fan of that first Jurassic World.
You sure that was him?
Yeah, that's him. That's
Really?
him.
I thought that was
Yeah,
Omar Sy.
yeah, I
That's,
believe that's Mahershala Ali.
I thought it was Omar Sy. I had to like think for a second. I'm like, what?
Well, I might be wrong. Now you're making me doubt.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was like, I thought he was a new character. Like that was.
I sort of feel he has been in a world, but I might be wrong.
That's okay. If you're wrong, it's no problem. I'm going mad too. I have to look that up after.
He's not, but I sort of feel he's okay. He has really good charm. Jonathan Bailey plays a what's the name of Grant of the doctor from the first one?
Oh,
Um,
Alan Grant. He's the
Alan
doctor.
Grant. Yeah, he plays like the same character. There's even a sequence where they are trying so hard to recreate the first time he sees the dinosaurs,
Mm,
but it is not as effective as that one was because, like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's in the trailer. You've seen that sequence cut in the film, and I think they play well of each other. There's a family because there's a family, but that plot makes no sense whatsoever. But they are
oh, so they really did
running.
copy everything from Jurassic Park 3.
It's worse than Jurassic Park 3
Ah, really?
because, see, I'll give just tiny spoiler, even though it's not a spoiler because these characters show up at the 50-minute mark. So, like, you already know the basis. Evil company wants to get DNA of the dinosaurs, right? If you've seen the
Yeah.
trailer, this family, even though this is a restricted area near Jurassic Park Island or whatever, because dinosaurs are there, even though I guess the aquatic dinosaurs do not leave that area. I don't know how it works really. But this family is trying to go from Florida to Cape Town, South Africa, in a small boat. And the Megasaurus happens to be mad that day, and that's why they end up in the island.
Oh, okay.
So it's worse than the JP3 plot because at least the kid was missing there.
Yeah, and they have
Here,
motivation, and this they don't. It's just by
here they
choice.
kind of just get mixed up in the other plot because I guess they had to have a family. And
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard the name Dolores in the advertisement campaign,
that's the
but
baby, right?
that's merch, and that's how I'd like to call it.
No, it's
That's
merch.
merch. That's Grogu merch.
That's like the baby Joey of Superman and the baby from
Yep,
Fantastic Four, Franklin. Why are all these July movies having babies in them? Like merch? Really? Is that
merch. Well, I mean, this guy is gonna sell like hotcakes. It's
you
merch.
think so?
Yeah, I think so. What I was gonna say, I think visually the film looks wonderful. They shot at 35 mil, and like they shot it in a way where you can tell it's shot with film. So I really appreciated that. So
Okay.
visually, it looks really cool.
Nice.
Would I recommend simple people seeing it in theaters? Yes, I think you're gonna have fun as long as you know you're watching a good-ish Jurassic Park film, like where they pull a lot of homages to Spielberg. And yes, the best sequence is the one where the T Rex chases them in the water,
Let's
straight out
just
of the
face it.
book.
The T Rex, anything that they're in is like literally the best thing in any movie.
Well, there's some new dinosaurs that are genetically modified. Get ready to meet the D Rex.
Oh, the D Rex. Ooh, how exciting. Alrighty. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for
you've
sharing.
seen him in the trailer, though.
Do I? I have hardly watched the trailers, honestly.
Don't watch them. Them like the trailer. It's like a super cut of the movie, if that makes sense. Like it's a quick cut of the highlights of the movie. You can literally see the whole movie in the trailers. But we'll talk more about it next week, as long as our Jurassic Park discussion.
Definitely. No, I'm excited for it. But I will sign us off tonight. Thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
joining, as always, man. He's Jaros2096, Andres Ramirez. You can follow him on Instagram. I'm the Zach Houston. You can follow me on Instagram, and you can follow Below the Line 2025 at our Instagram. Subscribe to our Spotify and YouTube channel. We upload weekly on Sundays, and have a great rest of your evening, day, whenever you're watching this.
Yes, and just to add, stay tuned because we might be doing a Mario Kart live stream on our
Ooh,
YouTube.
that'll be fun.
Uh, we're getting better. We're getting better at the Mario Kart world. Apparently, there's a lot of angry people because they took out the mode that people liked. So we're
Well,
getting
no,
better. I'm not
it wasn't that actually. Just before we signed off, it was more they brought in the intermissions to the online mode, and when you randomize, you can't have they're automated, so you have to play the intermission places, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Mario Strikers is coming next week.
To GameCube, yeah, that'll be good.
Yes, that's gonna be good. Anyways, we could talk forever, guys. Have a good night, a good day. Adios, gracias, merci. Uh, much love to our fans in Canada. We know you guys love us there. So, bye bye.
Bye. See you guys later.